Extremists are drawn to distinctive and complex individuals, such as Sigma INFJs. But their connection can be unpredictable and like a roller coaster. The following 7 scenarios illustrate how close a Sigma INFJ is to an extremist. 7. There's a chance they could be tricked. Their natural ability to empathize can increase their willingness to interact and listen to people who have strong opinions in order to gain an understanding of their viewpoint, and possibly encourage compromise. But when dealing with extremists, that particular empathy can become a liability. Extremists frequently manipulate people's emotions and employ persuasive strategies to get them to adopt their beliefs. They could take advantage of an INFJ's empathy and appeal to their need for harmony and understanding. This may cause Sigma INFJs to unintentionally put themselves at danger by lowering their guard and becoming more open to radical ideas. Additionally, Sigma INFJs embrace diversity of opinion and are often open-minded. Although this is admirable, it can also make them more vulnerable to manipulation by radicals who disguising their views as simply another viewpoint in order to hide the radical and potentially harmful aspects of their ideas. Because of their openness to many perspectives, Sigma INFJs run the risk of unintentionally endorsing radicals' claims and lending them more authority than is warranted. Sigma INFJs frequently aim to keep relationships harmonious and steer clear of conflict. Extremists may take advantage of this by employing guilt-tripping strategies or capitalizing on the INFJ's aversion to conflict in order to keep them involved in conversations or activities that further their own objectives. Does your analytical and skeptic personality as a Sigma INFJ shield you against extreme persuasion? 6. They have aha moments. When interacting with extremists, Sigma INFJs get beneath the surface of their words and deeds. They aim to understand the underlying anxieties, traumas, and fears that have sent the extremists on such a drastic course. Through sympathetic investigation, people may experience epiphanies that provide them a deeper comprehension of the multifaceted elements influencing the extremists' worldview. Sigma INFJs have a talent for seeing the finer points and complexities of human behavior, and dealing with extremists gives them a rare chance to put this talent to use. They might experience aha moments when they realize that psychological processes like alienation, a need to fit in, or the impact of social dynamics and propaganda are some of the psychological factors that push people in the direction of radicalization. These insights may prove beneficial for one's own development as well as for thwarting the efforts of extremists. Furthermore, Sigma INFJs frequently possess a strong sense of intuition and the interconnectedness of all things. Even if they might strongly disagree with extreme viewpoints, people occasionally have epiphanies in which they understand how these ideas fit into the greater historical and sociological framework. Even in the absence of consensus, adopting a more expansive viewpoint can result in a deeper comprehension of the complexity surrounding extremism. 5. They might hear values and worldviews that are comparable. Even when one's personal perspective is vastly different from another, Sigma INFJs are able to sympathize strongly with others and actively attempt to comprehend their viewpoints. They might actively listen to extremists and try to find points of agreement or shared beliefs. Extremists can be adept at presenting their arguments in a way that appeals to Sigma INFJ's emotional and sympathetic side, which makes it simpler for the INFJ to see some agreement. In addition, extremists frequently use deceptive and seductive strategies to win over supporters or adherents. They might purposefully highlight principles or concepts that are appealing to a wider range of people, including Sigma INFJs. These values, which can briefly coincide with the INFJ's values of empathy, harmony, and personal development, may contain themes of justice, community, or personal empowerment. Similar to this, Sigma INFJs have a great desire to keep their relationships peaceful and free from conflict. When speaking with extremists, they could minimize their differences and concentrate on the topics that appear to be in line with their beliefs. As the INFJ momentarily conceals their own concerns or objections, this can give the impression that they have similar worldviews. However, as a Sigma INFJ, do you sometimes become weary of applying rationality to situations? 4. They face radical ideologies that are incompatible with their moral principles. Sigma INFJs may feel driven to speak out against extreme ideologies that promote violence, bigotry, or prejudice since they are in direct opposition to their primary principles of empathy, compassion, and societal peace. Sigma INFJs are frequently motivated by a desire to uphold inclusion and defend the weak. Extremist beliefs work against their goal of establishing a more just and equitable society by continuing to injure and discriminate against underprivileged populations. Their dedication to equity and inclusiveness may prompt them to challenge radical beliefs in order to safeguard the most defenseless. Open and sincere communication is important to Sigma INFJs. They might first try to comprehend an extreme point of view, but they might also need to have a productive conversation to refute extreme ideas and forward other points of view. They could assume that in order to stop extremism from spreading and to promote critical thinking, we must take it on head-on. As a Sigma INFJ, does opposing radical ideas fit with your values? 3. They'll be curious to know the viewpoint of the radical. Sigma INFJs are motivated by a quest for comprehension and insight. They think that understanding the root reasons of any problem is essential to bringing about constructive change, even while working with extremists. They seek to uncover the reasons, anxieties, and inadequacies that propel radicalization by looking into the extremist's point of view. This knowledge may open the door to counter-extremism tactics or initiatives that are more successful. Furthermore, Sigma INFJs have a strong sense of compassion. They acknowledge that a complex combination of societal, psychological, and ideological elements frequently results in extremist individuals. Because of their empathy, they try to understand the hardships and obstacles faced by the extreme, which helps humanize the person and may present an opportunity for communication and de-radicalization. Sigma INFJs have a natural propensity for mediation and diplomacy. They know that an environment of animosity and polarization is a breeding ground for extremism. Sigma INFJs may seek to heal divisions and promote more fruitful conversations by actively listening to radicals and interacting with them in a non-confrontational manner, hence lowering the likelihood of radicalization and violence. Do you, as a Sigma INFJ, occasionally find the viewpoint of an extremist to be cognitively taxing? 2. They frequently clash with radicals, which could intensify the exchange. Extremist beliefs have the power to sustain injury and discrimination, and those who identify as Sigma INFJs may view confrontation as a way to protect the most vulnerable. As extremists work to destroy damaging ideas and customs, this protective impulse may result in more passionate interactions. Additionally, Sigma INFJs respect direct and truthful communication. They may make an initial effort to comprehend the viewpoint of an extremist, but they also value the need of fruitful discussion. Taking on extremism head-on may be seen as an essential step in challenging and examining extreme viewpoints, which may result in personal development and a reevaluation of ideas. The pursuit of meaningful discourse has the potential to enhance communication with extremists. People who identify as Sigma INFJs may have a strong sense of justice and a desire to address societal injustices. They might believe that radicalism poses a threat to the general well-being of society, and that it is their duty to actively confront and dispel radical ideology. 1. There is a psychological cost to them. Being very empathic, Sigma INFJs frequently take on the feelings and vitality of those around them. Experiencing emotional tiredness and distress, Sigma INFJs may interact with extremists who may display extreme wrath, hostility, or extremist ideologies. It can be emotionally taxing and overwhelming for people to witness the zeal and extremism of others. The ideals of empathy, tolerance, and societal harmony are important to Sigma INFJs. Cognitive dissonance can be brought on by interactions with radicals who hold opinions that are diametrically opposed to these principles. They may experience internal conflict and turbulence as a result of the sharp difference between their own ideas and the ideologies of radicals, which may lead to doubts about their own convictions and mental suffering. Additionally, dealing with extremists can be mentally exhausting due to their aggressive approach. INFJs that identify as Sigma may feel obligated to confront extreme viewpoints and participate in heated discussions, which can be mentally and emotionally taxing. They might also run with opposition and animosity from radicals, which would be stressful and frustrating. Does frequent exposure to extreme ideas have a negative psychological impact on you as a Sigma INFJ? The connection between the extreme and the Sigma INFJ may be impacted in various ways by these conflicts in perspectives and emotional valence. Even so, when the extremist's energy and presence become disruptive to their tranquility, Sigma INFJs are able to set boundaries with ease. Have you, as a Sigma INFJ, encountered an extremist? What do you think about them right away?